GM season is upon us once more, and what better way to start than with a GM that we can farm in 10 minutes or less. Insight Terminus used to be somewhat difficult because of the boss room, but with the 3.0 subclasses being a thing, and the boss strategy we have for you guys today, you'll be raking in double loot exotics, ascendant shards, and mind benders in no time. I'm Above, and if you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into it. There are several subclasses that can do work in this Grandmaster, so by all means, use what you're comfortable with. In terms of our team comp, we found that one Well of Radiance Warlock with Phoenix Protocol, one Invis Hunter with Aeon Swifts, and one Arc Titan with Heart of Inmost Light to be by far the most efficient. This comp has it all. Your Titan gives you top tier ad clear, Well gives you survivability in the toughest choke points, and your Invis Hunter allows you to skip past several parts of this Nightfall, which can save you 5 to 10 minutes per run, which really adds up if you're going to be farming double loot this week. If you want to sub out any of these subclasses, Stasis Warlock is another great option, especially for ad control in the boss room. As for weapon loadouts, OGs of the channel may remember this strategy, but it's definitely going to catch some new viewers off guard. Leviathan's Breath is actually insane for this Grandmaster. Not only does its 50% damage buff from a few seasons ago really help this weapon, it also has intrinsic unstop and benefits from the 25% Void Singe damage buff. This thing hits like a truck and actually stun locks Kargan in place, which makes the boss fight so much easier. You see, this is an extremely mobile boss, so the longer you leave her alive, the more ads spawn, which makes it harder to do DPS while you're trying to ad clear. So the faster you can health gate her, the easier this boss fight will be, saving you a ton of time on your clears. Running 2 Levi's Breaths will health gate the boss in just seconds, though if you're going to utilize this strategy, I highly recommend that you have the Catalyst completed to give this weapon deeper ammo reserves and Archer's tempo. If you don't have this weapon or don't have time to complete the Catalyst, the Taipan and Retrofit Escapade are solid void options that can benefit from the Singe as well. I recommend that your 2 Levi's Breath users run blinding grenades specifically for the boss room, and since Truth Teller is void, it also benefits from the 25% damage buff, which makes it feel like pre-nerf blinding nades. Having 2 of these allows you to trivialize the plate capture moments in the boss room, which is arguably the hardest part of this GM. Since Levi's Breath already covers unstop, you'll want an anti-barrier primary in your kinetic slot. Your third teammate, which I highly recommend to be your Warlock, will be using Arbalist for consistent anti-barrier stuns and an unstoppable hand cannon in the energy slot, as well as a void machine gun for their heavy. While your Levi's Breath users are baking the boss, your Well Warlock will go to town clearing ads, allowing you to have a clear line of sight on the boss and keeping you safe during DPS. The more ads you kill in your Well, the more of your super you'll get back, and the more fusion nades you can throw for additional damage and ad clear. As for key armor mods, you'll want the standard Finders and Scabs, Void Resist and Concussive Dampener on the chest piece to counter the Void Singe, and Sect of Insight on your Aeon Gauntlets for heavy ammo drops on Finisher. Pairing this with Lucent Finisher not only doubles the heavy drop for your teammates, it also ensures that your Aeon user gets ammo for themselves. Weaken Clear is a solid mod to pair with your blinding GLs, and you can also use Counter Charge and High Energy Fire for additional damage against champions. And if you happen to have Artifice gear, you can slot Advanced Scout on your class item to give your teammates additional damage against champions as well. As we dive into the Nightfall, the first room should be pretty straightforward. There will be 2 barriers guarding the entrance of the cave and should be easy pickings. You can then use your blinding grenades to suppress the ads in front of you and get a finisher on the final barrier champion before moving on. As you enter the next room, clear the group of Cabal guarding the entrance, then team shot the barrier champion across the ravine. When this barrier dies, you can actually smoke your teammates and skip everything else in this room. You don't need to waste time clearing ads because the champ is the only enemy that needs to die here. Next up, we have the plate encounter. You used to be able to leave ads alive to skip the unstoppable champion spawns, but this has actually been patched. This is where your storm grenades and blinding GLs will go crazy. It makes it easy to clear and suppress the adds, but keep an eye out for teleporting Centurions, as that is a known bug in this encounter. Make sure to get finishers on the 2 unstoppable champions that spawn to ensure you're topped off on ammo heading into the next encounter. This brings us to the most time-consuming part of this Nightfall, where the objective is to deposit 2 arc charges near the back of the room, which opens up the large door for our exit. But before we can do this, there are several waves of champions and adds we need to get through. But as I noted at the start of the video, our Invis Hunter will speed this encounter up a lot. There are several cool tricks we can use to make this encounter go significantly faster, and the first is, before you kill any adds, shoot Kargan as you enter the room. This immediately triggers an additional ad spawn that allows you to skip a barrier champion without affecting your platinum rewards. Start by pushing up and planting a well behind these pillars, and use your supers and abilities to ad clear as quickly as possible. The machine gun we recommended at the start of the video will do work here. When you kill the unstop, it will drop the first orb that you need to dunk. However, ads will spawn when you pick up this orb, so if you want to play it extra safe, you can drop the orb after picking it up and clear ads with your fire team, or you can speed this up a ton by having your Invis Hunter grab the orb and use their invis to deposit the ball on their own, while your teammates hang back and clear the ads themselves. Once they've cleared the ads, you'll also want them to kill the barrier champion near the deposit as you get ready to dunk. This is actually a really safe strategy and can save several minutes in this room alone. Shortly after depositing, another wave of ads will spawn in. Your Warlock should have their Well of Radiance back at this point, so simply rinse and repeat what you did during the first phase. You'll be burning quite a bit of heavy ammo in this room, so you're going to want to finish as many champions as possible to ensure that you're fully stocked up on ammo before the boss fight. Once all of the champions are dead and the second ball has been dunked, we're moving on. This encounter can cause frustration because of how much Kargan moves around. But this is where Leviathan's Breath comes in handy. As I noted earlier, this weapon stun locks the boss in place, which makes DPS so much easier. As the fight begins, throw down a well, apply tether, and watch her health bar get nuked in literal seconds. While this is happening, your Warlock should be clearing ads with their machine gun, and your Titan can help with ad clear by using their storm nades on the boss. When Kargan hits half health, you're gonna want to hop on the plates and capture all 3 of them as quickly as possible. This is where your blinding nades will come in handy, because you can simply spam them on the ads, which gives you enough time to capture all 3 plates without being in danger. Once complete, the boss will become damageable one last time. You should have your well back at this point, so meet on the center plate, bake the boss, and the Insight Terminus Grandmaster Nightfall is a GG. If you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated, and you can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/above, where we'll be doing GM runs with our community all season long. That's it from me. Best of luck with your farming this week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!